Hey, this is Igor from Stone Jesus, and you're listening to House of Thunder.
Sveiki gyvi, čia ir vėl aš, Paulius iš Perkūno namų. Esu propagandos klube, kur šiandien įvyks Stone Jesus koncertas ir turiu galimybę pakalbinti grupės gitaristą ir vokalistą Igor. Hi Igor, how do you do?
Hi, nice, fine, thank you.
It's a great pleasure having you here again. Your previous gig in this country was last year, during the Wilson Festival. What do you recall from that time?
Yeah, it was like our second big festival experience. The first one was Freak Valley, and we were really pleased to be the headliners for the rock stage. The previous day was headlined by Orange Goblin, and we really had hopes to catch them there because we had great fun and nice time on Freak Valley. But anyway, we just caught only the last day of Devilstone, and then we had 2 days off in Vilnius. So yeah, we had the chance to see Vilnius, and we really had a great time, and we had fun on Devilstone because we didn't really expect that the audience gonna be this warm, and they knew the songs. They were cheering and they react on basically every song that we played, and it was really cool, and we decided to go back there anytime we could. So
yeah, Stone Jesus was a big discovery for many, I think, people who were in that festival, because not so many people heard it before and then started to listen. Having already seen you about a year and a half ago, can we expect any new surprises in this show, like new songs that you have written during that time?
Yeah, there are a couple of new tunes because we basically finishing the work on the third LP on the new record. So now we're basically playing almost all songs from this album, and I guess on our Devilstone set we played mostly old tracks that most people should know. Yeah, and it's really nice to hear that there are not so many people who were into Stone Jesus before our set, and I really hope that there were more after we played. So yeah, it's always really cool to conquer the new audience.
Seven thunders roar over flooded shore. Pilgrim, have you lost your way? Many lands you've seen through the lands of green. Now he knows saves the day.
Your music is mostly described as stoner doom, but yet when I listen to it, I think I hear much more than just stoner doom.
Yeah.
What are your musical influences, and how would you characterize your style?
The first record, the first LP was very much stoner doom. It was 101% stoner doom, and it was basically the intention. It was the idea to create a stoner doom record in a nutshell that is really within the genre, dare I say, cliches and something like this. So it was really nice to be labeled as stoner doom, and it was okay for us then. But after that we got faster and we got more progressive, and some people call it stoner rock, but the problem is when you take stoner doom and make it faster, it doesn't become stoner doom. So stoner rock, I mean, when you speed up stoner doom, it wouldn't become stoner rock, because we weren't singing about deserts and highways and cactuses and bongs and witches and shit like this. No, it was basically the same music but faster and with more progressive approach. And for the new material we also gonna get a bit more faster, a bit more heavier and aggressive and progressive, because
so your music is still gravitating towards something different than in the...
Yeah, it mostly because I'm giving myself more freedom as a writer. I'm the primary writer in the band, and the guys, they usually bring some ideas to fill my ideas, and they serve as some kind of editors. When I approach them with the idea of the song, they usually try to make it better as they think. Yeah, and sometimes it works, and this is probably because we all have different musical backgrounds. For example, I'm mostly I don't know, I used to be a huge prog rock fan. Not anymore. I tend to listen almost everything. And Sergey, the bass player, he was hugely into, you know, I don't know, madcore, post-hardcore scene, all this kind of stuff. And our current drummer, Victor, he's not into this kind of stuff at all. He used to play in a ska punk band, and he likes world music, he likes electronic music, ethnic music, any kind of stuff that is groovy. And we really like that he has that groove that is not metal groove and not the doomy groove. And this is really cool because most metal drummers have this, you know, distinctive, I don't know how to say, just distinctive, pretty wild metal groove. And it's not like with Victor, he's very, he can be very different, and he is very, you know, yeah, he can play anything, I think.
Getting out of that position, I don't want this anymore. I'm getting away myself. In this breeding game, I see no point, and I don't want to score. This prison me myself. Here come the robots. Here come the robots.
What does STONED stand for? Does it mean being high or being killed by throwing stones?
Yeah, that's the question that I'm asked. I've been asked so many times. Basically, the name was created in the times of before the first record, and the initial name was Stone Jesus from the Outer Space.
Is that
And it
somehow
was just-
inspired by Plan 9 from outer space?
Yeah, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, all this kind of stuff like vintage and horror and all this occult stuff. And it was basically just the wordplay on genres cliches like religion, weed, occult things, and stuff like this. Then it was shortened to just Stone Jesus. And of course, we're not relating to the name anymore. And sometimes when we hear something like, "Oh, they called Stone Jesus! Wow, this is so cool! They probably fans of Electric Wizard," or stuff like this, we basically like go, what? Because we're not putting some, I don't know, some things behind the name. This is just the name. We're neither religion maniacs, we're not vid maniacs or something like this. So it's just the band name. It's not like you expect the guys from Mastodon to wear, I don't know, helmets made from Mastodon skins or something. It's just the name of the band, and that's it.
For someone who are religious maniacs, it maybe seem as blasphemous or something.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
get any reactions like that?
No, we haven't yet, basically, because we're not that, you know, huge. But I think that if we're gonna play in Russia, we're not going to soon, basically, because, you know, because of the whole political situation. I don't think that it's like the right time to play in Russia, despite the fact that we have many friends there and many fans there. But you never know what's gonna happen on the border, you know. So and further, and even further, when we play there, you know, there are some really fucked up guys who, you know, got cancelled the shows for Marilyn Manson and Cannibal Corpse and Cradle of Filth and all these bands. And yeah, it would be pretty fun to have our name on this list.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they attack Stone Jesus as well as they did to
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth. Haha.
Yeah, you already touched on something similar to what I wanted to ask. Well, we all know that Ukraine has been a battlefield for the last year. First you had the revolution, now you have a war. What can you tell us? Can you tell us a little bit how did all these events influence your own lives and music and band?
Hey, it is also kind of question that we've been asked so many times. And the thing is that we can't say anything right now because some time must pass and we need to see the things like in a distance and analyze them as a whole situation. But for now it's pretty clear that the whole revolution thing was just inner Ukrainian stuff, and if it wasn't from Russia, the involvement from Russia, it would have ended like in 1 week. But then, of course, Putin remembered that Ukraine is former colony. You need to take your greedy hands on it and shit like this. Yeah, and now we have war. We have this pseudo, like, I don't know, guys, partisans who fighting for independence of these regions, and everyone knows that these guys are not the partisans but like Russian troops.
Yeah, and you're not fighting for independence.
Yeah, they just basically trying to depress the region and to make it unstable. Because when Putin conquered kinda Crimea, he did it without a single shot and without a single body.
Yes.
Because he really needs it. He really needs Crimea, so he took it like in a serious way. But speaking of Lugansk and Donetsk, he just wants to make things look like there is a war, and Ukraine will never enter NATO because they have war, and Ukraine will never enter Europe because they have war and shit like this. So, and the guy just doesn't care about the people. He basically could send there millions of troops, and he doesn't care about, legless soldiers who coming back home, or dead soldiers who coming back home in coffins. So this is basically about one crazy guy who thinks that he can do anything. So that's it.
On a silver unicorn rides that lady of the storm. Heaven's place from up above. She's the queen of all beloved. Electric mistress casting her spell on me. Electric mistress helping to let me in. Electric mistress, she knows what to do. Electric mistress coming to get me. Coming to get me again.
And there's also information war, because a lot of well-intentioned people in the West think that there is some kind of civil war in Ukraine, which is not the case.
Yeah, this is the situation that he tries to make people think, and sometimes he succeeds. Yeah, and there's some people think that this kind of civil war is something, but when you try to dig deeper into situation, you see that there were so many times where country could have been divided. But there were no wars at all, because Ukrainians are not the guys who go into wars. We're basically always getting conquered by someone, but we are not the war people, we're not the guys from Caucasus or some other guys who like into conquering and waging wars and shit like that. No, we're pretty peaceful people. We're kind of too lazy to wage wars, And now when the war is on, and it's going on, it's pretty obvious that this is not us who started it. So yeah, it's basically too fucked up. And the funny thing that we were in Latvia yesterday, and we were buying stuff in McDonald's, speaking in English with the guys there on the counter, and there was a kind of security guy who heard us speaking Russian, and he was like, "Where are you from?" And we're like, "We're from Kiev." "Oh, Kiev, Maidan. It's like, these crazy fascist guys killing each other." And we're like, "What? What fascist guys? What channels do you watch?" And he's like, "Russian channels, RTR and Live News and Russia 24." And we're like, "Oh yeah, that's all clear. We're not gonna continue this talk, sorry, because it's inappropriate." Yeah, so the information war is really fucked up thing as well, because I kind of lost, I don't know how to say it, but I kind of lost a couple of friends, couple of guys in Russia who are claiming that I'm a fascist now because I'm, supporting the desire of my country to be independent, and that's why I'm a fascist now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not speaking anymore, and it's pretty sad. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I'm an Indian. You can tell me by my eyes. I'm an Indian. White people always lie. You brought diseases, hunger and greed. You took our horses, women and kids. But I'm an Indian. Stepping out on the path of war.
So these things are probably influential, or at least could be influential for music also, because it captures the mind.
Yeah, they are, and we basically have the new song that is called YFS, which stands for Youth for Sale, and it's gonna surface on the next album. It's already recorded, and I have the musical idea like for a year or something, and I couldn't come up with lyrics. And the day when Maidan was shot, the people were killed brutally and unexpectedly, and still we have no proofs who did that and why. And that very day I wrote the lyrics, and lyrics are mostly not about the Maidan thing or something. They they dig a bit deeper, because the name of the song is Youth for Sale. It's about the youth that is doomed to be no one, to be nobody, because I myself is from Lugansk region, which is like the place for civil war right now, and I know how it happens there, and I know how people are easily lured into some kind of illusion that they can get a better future, because the region is really, 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 really fucked up. And it's also because of the previous Ukrainian authorities as well. It's not because like Russian soldiers came and destroyed everything. It's because of previous authorities as well, and it's really complex and difficult situation to speak in black and white terms. It's more than that, and this is why the song is trying to dig deeper. And of course we were influenced by ourselves, and which is a sad thing, because nowadays when you hear about somebody dies, it's like you're getting used to it. You go like, yeah, they die, so whatever. And my parents still live there in Lugansk region, and it's really it's like living in a constant worry. I'm sending text messages each 2 hours or something to check how are they there and stuff like this. So in this year of war, what we really learned is that there are people that you should stand for, not the ideas, but people you should stand for, and this is the best thing in your life right now, is to know that they are safe, and that you can help them.
Yeah.
So this year it really learned us to be more human.
That's probably important experience.
Yeah.
When can we expect that third album?
Basically, Maidan is involved again, because on that very day when there were shootings, we should have been recording bass sessions for one of the songs, and the studio is like 2 blocks away from Maidan, and of course it wasn't safe at all. And we got the sessions cancelled, and then the sessions resurfaced like in 1 month later, because the sound guy is pretty busy. They have the busy schedule. We were working back then on our daytime jobs. We were pretty busy as well, so it all took so much fucking time, and it felt like you've been pregnant for 3 years, because the last thing we released, the full-length album, was 700 Zor. It was released in spring of 2012, so it's like being pregnant for 3 fucking years, and we can't wait to release the new one, and we really hope that we can release it prior to our spring tour, so it could be released next year in February. So it's like in 2 months, hopefully in 2-3 months, I think we're gonna hear him.
Yeah, it will be interesting to hear it. So okay, so thanks very much.
Welcome.
I wish you good luck in making and releasing that album, and we'll be waiting to see you live on stage.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the interview.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.